Let me get your take as a CEO first, because of course we have Trump disbanding his advisory groups. How difficult is it for a CEO like yourself having to work both with the government, who's getting a lot of criticism, and also have to face your customers?
Sherry, our strategy is we focus on things that we can control, and we don't control the political arena. We focus on new product development, innovation, hiring fantastic people, geographic expansion, and that's why our results continue to be great, because we don't get distracted by headlines and by political noise. So, to be honest, it has no effect whatsoever on our results or our future.
What about the infrastructure project? I mean, there was great optimism about his program. This week completely overshadowed by developments in Charlottesville. How are you pricing that into your business?
Well, the good news is the U.S. economy is flourishing. Our results, our largest customers' results, are spectacular. So if there's any additional infrastructure activity, that's gravy. But right now, we're not counting on any help from the government. And you see the momentum in the U.S. in housing and the economy. It's fantastic. By the way, we sell 100 other countries around the world, too. So we're not just a U.S. supplier. And to be honest, our geographic expansion globally is working so well that I think that offsets any potential issues in the U.S.
Last time you've talked about shifting your production a little bit to the U.S., less from China. Have you started doing that, or have you started devising plans? How much will it cost you?
Well, we have shifted selectively products that make sense to manufacture in the U.S. and in some cases even Europe. The cost is all built into our financial model, and you'll continue to see growing gross margin from the company and improving earnings.
So you've already started producing more in the U.S.?
We have, but it's only a benefit. We're only going to do it if there's a benefit to our shareholders. But the real key, remember, Sherry, the key to this company's success is new product development. We are the global leader in cordless innovation and technology. We have so much new cordless product coming to Milwaukee and Ryobi that'll overwhelm issues, we believe, that we encounter in the macroeconomic environment. So while the manufacturing is something we focus on and we're very good at, the real key to this company is the new product machine that we've created, which is world-class and really unprecedented in our industry.
Joe, I'm just curious to get your take. We're starting NAFTA renegotiations, I guess you could call it, with Mexico and Canada. I'm curious, just for such an export-driven company such as yours, how do you view these negotiations? What do you hope comes out of this?
Well, as I already mentioned, I don't get distracted by issues and events that I can't control. I can tell you that Canada is one of the crown jewels of TTI. Our business there has grown incredibly well over the last 5 years, and that's not going to stop. So it really, we export from China to Canada. That's got nothing to do with U.S. policy.
Right.
And I believe that our results in Canada will continue to exceed expectations.
And I know Sherry mentioned earlier about, infrastructure here in the U.S. And as we know, the other day, President Trump had tried to talk about infrastructure, but then got derailed with all of the news around Charlottesville. Are you worried at all, though? Again, are you worried about infrastructure getting off track and maybe some of the plans you had on that, might in fact be derailed?
Zero. I have zero concern, because if there's no additional infrastructure investment in the U.S., our business will still flourish. The U.S. economy is doing fine, and the key to our growth has never been macroeconomic help. It's always the things that we can control, which is the flow of new product, new cordless. That's why we're not concerned, and that's why I feel very confident that the next 5 years of TTI will be an outstanding phase of this company's development.
Then let's talk a little bit about the things that you can control. For example, operating costs, because some of the analysts that we've talked to have highlighted the fact that if growth in operating costs exceeds revenue, that could be problematic for Techtronic. What we're seeing here on the chart, FA Go is a function on the Bloomberg, is that operating costs, for example, the first half of this year, have been more than double the pace of growth of your revenue growth. So could this be problematic?
It could if we didn't manage it well. But Sherry, our productivity programs in our manufacturing arena are so done, so effective that we can offset these operating cost inflationary factors with productivity, with more efficiency in the supply chain network. So I'm not concerned. And again, the most important element of TTI's strategy is the flowing of new products that have accretive gross margins. If we continue to bring to market innovative cordless products with fabulous gross margins, that way offsets any operating cost inflation. So, no, I'm not concerned at all about that.
President Trump is also looking into launching an investigation into China's intellectual property violations.
Yeah.
Do you have R&D research facilities in China?
We do, but it has nothing to do with that investigation. We file patents in the U.S., in the U.K., in all the other developed Western countries. And so it'll only help us, to be honest, because occasionally our innovative, exciting products get knocked off by maybe a Chinese manufacturing company, and this will only help TTI.
What about the strengthening yuan? I mean, the last time we spoke, we saw yuan devaluation, and that was great news for you. You guys report in U.S. dollars. This is a completely different scenario. How much has that hit you?
Well, it's had an effect, but to be honest, it's been offset by sales growth, leverage, and manufacturing efficiency. So you see the results, and I'm very confident we can offset any currency effects, not only with the Chinese currency, but any other currency.
Joe, just before we go, I know, as you mentioned, you do business all around the world, but I got to, continue to ask you about the U.S. and the economy. Okay.
Of course.
Do you see it, if the Fed decides to delay their rate hikes, do you see that continuing to propel the U.S. economy here? I mean, what are you seeing through your business here?
I mean, certainly, lower interest rates are always a plus. But you have to remember, we are leading a revolution from gas-powered products to cordless, from AC products to cordless power tools. That is a once-in-a-generation revolution, and that will dwarf any short-term interest rate changes. So, this is why we're so confident. We have a new product pipeline that goes out 5 years that will blow you away as we roll these new innovative products out one after another. So I'm just not concerned about it, and it's because I'm so confident that our team's innovation process is so well managed.